there, fantasy owners. Welcome to Lift the Cup Fantasy, or LTC Fantasy as some call it. And today's our weekend ads episode, so we're going to look at this weekend schedule as we turn the corner in this 12-day week of fantasy hockey to finish the season. And some things to note. Friday, there's only 4 games. Saturday, there's 12 games. And Sunday, there's 11 games. So very heavy on the back end of the schedule. So we will focus on the Friday team since that is the lightest night. We will also look at teams that play Saturday and Sunday. That way, if you do have room on your roster on those heavy nights, at least you're getting 2 games out of them. And we will break it down to defensemen and forwards that play both Friday and Saturday, then defensemen and forwards that play Friday and Sunday, and then finish it off with defensemen and forwards that play Saturday and Sunday. Do look in the description, because there I will mention where in the episode to find the defensemen and forwards that play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday, and so on. And if you do need to come back to the video, don't forget to subscribe. That way, if you do need to get a different piece or pieces, the video is a lot easier to find for you. So we will get right into it. Some defensemen that play Friday and Saturday. Look at Shane Gostisbehere from Arizona. Owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues. Plays top pairing, top power play unit. And he's put up 3 points his last 8 games played. So right around half point per game. And he really is the best option on the back end out of Arizona. And he's had a fairly good fantasy season. Consistent anyways. Next one's Eric Brandstrom from Ottawa. Owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues. Plays top pairing, top power play unit. Young guy's been getting a lot of extra ice time since Shabbat's been out. And he's put up 4 points his last 8 games played. Next one's Michael Del Zotto from Ottawa. Is owned nowhere, 0% owned. Plays on the second pairing, second power play unit. And he's put up 3 points his last 4 games played. Last one is Vince Dunn in Seattle. Owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit, and he's currently on a 3-game point streak where he has 5 assists in those 3 games. Moving along to some forwards that play both Friday and Saturday, look at Nick Schmaltz from Arizona. Listed as center right winger, only owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit. Yeah, he's been pointless the last 3 games, but before that he put up 7 points in a 7-game stretch. Going over to Ottawa, look at Josh Norris, listed as a center, owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. He's been hot, 13 points the last 11 games, to go along with 34 shots on goal. Another one from Ottawa is Drake Batherson, listed as a right winger, owned in 55% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit, and he has 4 points in his last 5 games played. Another one from Ottawa is Tim Stützle, listed as center left winger, owned in 39% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit. He's been really hot, 13 points his last 9 games played. Couple from Seattle to look at. Look at Ryan Donato up front, listed as center left winger, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line and second power play unit, and he's put up 5 points his last 8 games played. Another one from Seattle's Alex Wenberg, listed as center left winger, only owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 6 points his last 8 games played. Now we'll jump to some defensemen that play both Friday and Sunday. And from Colorado, look at Bowen Byram, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top pairing right now and second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points his last 6 games played. Over in Columbus, look at Vladislav Gavrikov, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second pairing there in Columbus, and he's put up 7 points his last 11 games played, to go along with 28 shots on goal and 17 blocks. It's definitely adds some secondary value there as well. Over in Edmonton, look at Cody Ceci, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top pairing in Edmonton, and he's been doing a little bit of everything as well, having 6 points his last 9 games played, to go along with 16 hits and 24 blocks. Over in Minnesota, look at Jacob Middleton, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top pairing in Minnesota, and he's been decent, having 3 points his last 6 games played, so half point per game, and in those 6 games he's had 12 blocks. Finished off in Washington, look at Dmitry Orlov, owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second pairing there right now, and he's put up 5 points in his last 4 games played to go along with 10 shots on goal. Last one in Washington's Justin Schultz, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing and is on the second unit power play, and he has 5 points his last 4 games. Moving over to some forwards that play both Friday and Sunday. Up front, look at Andrei Burakovsky in Colorado. Listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 65% of Yahoo leagues. So his ownership is up there, but he's available in about a third of the leagues. Plays second line, top power play unit, and he has 11 points in his last 9 games played. Few others from Colorado, look at Valery Nichushkin, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line and top power play unit, and he's currently on a 5-game point streak where he has 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points. Sticking with Colorado, look at Alex Newhook, listed as center left winger, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, currently on the third line, second power play unit, and he's put up 8 points his last 9 games played. Last one from Colorado's one of their new additions. Look at Arturi Lehkonen, listed as left winger, right winger, only owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points his last 4 games played to go along with 12 shots on goal. Go over to Columbus, look at Gustav Nyquist, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line and top power play unit, and he's put up 6 points in his last 4 games played. Another one from Columbus is Jack Roslovich, listed as center right winger, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues, centers at top line and second power play unit, and he has 7 points in his last 4 games played, so really hot, and in those 4 games, 14 shots on goal. Last one from Columbus is Jakub Voracek, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 43% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 6 points in his last 7 games played. Go over to Edmonton, look at Zach Hyman, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second line and has been bumped up to the top power play unit, and he's put up 9 points his last 12 games played. Over in Minnesota, look at Matt Boldy, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 15% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that third line, but plays on the top power play unit, and he's currently on a 7-game point streak where he's put up 10 points in those 7 games. Another one from Minnesota is Frederick Gaudreau. No, not Johnny Gaudreau, different Gaudreau, a lot bigger. Anyways, listed as a center, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the third line, second power play unit. He's currently on a 4-game point streak where he has 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points. So almost as hot as Johnny. Anyways, over in Washington, look at Anthony Mantha, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on that third line right now and second power play unit, and he's put up 7 points in just his last 5 games. Another one from Washington's TJ Oshie, listed as center right winger, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and top power play unit, and he does a little bit of everything. 2 goals in his last 4 games played, with 10 shots on goal and 10 hits. Now we'll go into some defensemen that played both Saturday and Sunday. Over in Anaheim, look at Cam Fowler, owned in 33% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 7 points in his last 9 games played. Over in Carolina, look at Brady Shea. He's only owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second pairing, and he's put up 5 points in his last 5 games played. Go over to Florida, look at Gustav Forsling, owned in 33% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second pairing there. He's been hot the last 9 games. He's had 7 goals and 3 assists. So that goal total's huge for a defenseman, and 35 shots on goal in those 9 games. Another one on the back end in Florida is Brandon Montour. He's owned in 14% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 8 points his last 8 games played. Over in Montreal, look at Jeff Petrie. He's owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line and second power play unit, And since coming back from injury there, he's had 4 points in his last 5 games played. And even with coming back from injury, stepping in front of the puck, has 14 blocks in those 5 games. Over in Nashville, look at Matthias Ekholm. He's owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he's been decent, really good of late, having 3 points his last 4 games played to go along with 11 shots on goal and 9 hits. Over in New Jersey, look at Damon Severson. He's owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, second power play unit, and he has 4 points in his last 6 games played. Over in San Jose, take a chance on Ryan Merkley if there's room there. He's 0% owned, plays third pairing and second power play unit. With Carlson out, he's getting a little bit of ice time when he is playing, because he has been scratched 3 of the last 7 games, so do make sure he is dressing. But in his last 7 games played, he's had 3 points, so basically half point per game defenseman. Next one's Nick Leddy in St. Louis. Owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues. He did miss the last game after he took a high stick, so he is listed day to day. So make sure he's back before you do pick him up. But when he is playing, he plays on the second pairing top power play unit. And before that, he was pointless in the last 3 games played, but he did put up 5 points in a 5-game stretch as he gets comfortable in St. Louis there. Going over to Toronto, look at Mark Giordano. Owned in 57% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the third pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 9 points his last 10 games played. Finding that offensive touch when he's surrounded by some talented forwards there. So now we'll move into some forwards that play both Saturday and Sunday. And in Anaheim, look at Trevor Zegras. Listed as center left winger, owned in 48% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. He's been good the last few weeks, having 7 points his last 6 games played. Sticking with Anaheim, look at Derek Grant. Listed as center, left wing, and right wing, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top line and second power play unit, and he has 8 points in his last 5 games played. Sticking with Anaheim, and last one from Anaheim's Adam Henrique. Listed as center left winger, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second line and second power play unit, and he has 8 points in his last 10 games played. Going over to Boston, look at Jake DeBrusk. Listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line with Bergeron and Marchand and second power play unit. Yes, he hasn't had any points the last 4 games, but when he scores a lot. But right before that 4-game stretch, he had 10 points over 7 games. Another one from Boston's Eric Holla, listed as center left winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and second power play unit, and he has 12 points in his last 12 games played. Over in Carolina, look at Seth Jarvis, listed as center, left wing, and right wing, only owned in 6% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top line with Aho and second power play unit, and he has 7 points in his last 7 games played. Next one from Carolina is Jordan Staal, listed as a center, owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that third line and second power play unit. He did miss the last game with an upper body injury, so do make sure he is back. It doesn't sound like it's too serious, just listed as day-to-day. But before he got hurt there, he had 8 goals and 2 assists in just his last 7 games played. Over in Detroit, look at Lucas Raymond, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. He doesn't have a point the last 3 games, but before that he put up 7 points over an 8-game stretch. Another option in Detroit is Jacob Verana. He's only owned in roughly, I think it's 22% of Yahoo leagues. He's another option for you out of Detroit. Go over to Nashville, look at Ryan Johansson. He's listed as a center, owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second line right now. He kind of flip-flops with Granlund between second line and first line, but always on the first power play. And he has 9 points in his last 9 games played. As I mentioned Granlund earlier, that is another option for you depending who's slated on the top line there. Going over to New Jersey, look at Nico Hischier, listed as a center, owned in 35% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. He's been having one heck of a second half here. And he continues. He has 8 points in his last 6 games played. Another one from New Jersey's Jesper Bratt, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 57% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points his last 6 games played and been right around that point per game mark all season long. Over in the Islanders, look at Brock Nelson, listed as a center, owned in 48% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he has 7 points his last 7 games played. Next one is Rickard Rakell in Pittsburgh, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 20% of Yahoo leagues, currently slated on that top line and second power play unit, with Malkin going to be coming back from his suspension soon. Not quite sure how that'll affect him on the wing. But he has 5 points his last 4 games played to go along with 13 shots on goal. Go over to St. Louis now. Look at Robert Thomas. Listed as center right winger, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues. Plays top line, second power play unit. He's been really hot. 23 points his last 12 games played. Another one in St. Louis is Brandon Saad, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 13% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second line right now, but he's put up 10 points his last 12 games played. Another option from St. Louis is Ivan Barbashev. He plays on the third line and second power play unit. He goes in really good stretches, and then it's nothing. Really good stretch and nothing. So it's kind of a risk-reward play for you. But over in Tampa Bay, couple for you, look at Nick Paul, listed as center left winger, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, been bumped up to that top line, and it's been working for him. He has 3 points his last 4 games played. Another one from Tampa is Andre Palat, listed as a left winger, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and second power play unit, and he also has put up 3 points his last 4 games. Last one's Michael Bunting in Toronto, listed as a left winger, owned in 49% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top line with Matthews and Marner, and second power play unit, and he's put up 12 points in his last 9 games played, and in those 9 games, and shooting the puck more, even with Matthews there, 26 shots on goal. Another option from Toronto, if you're in a bit of a pinch and in the deeper leagues, Ilya Mikheyev. He does play on that second line with Tavares, and his production has definitely improved since he's been playing in the top 6. Do hope you did enjoy the episode. We'll be out in a few days with our second strategy episode focusing on the last 5 days of the final week here. And good luck to all you fantasy owners out there.